Right, Shalom, this your brother Yuanathon, all right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity, okay? May the blessing of election be upon your house. The title of this lesson is The Hour of Temptation. Can you see it, okay? The hour of temptation is going to happen when the whole world is confronted with conforming to the NWO agenda, which is going to include the mark of the beast, all right? Which is a physical incision in your flesh for you to function in society, okay? As the world moves towards, a digital one, a digital society, it's becoming clearer and clearer, along with prophecy and the things that are happening in the world, that, oh, snap, this is our time, and it's getting ready to happen to us. And the question then becomes for the believers, well, how do we prepare? Okay, but first I just want to mention, all the brothers have been going into it. You had King Charles, who announced, that they're switching over to, the whole digital ID system. They're going all in on it. Okay, so how the citizens interact with the banks, how they interact with the government, is going to be, completely different. In order for you to function in a society, you're going to have to conform to that digital ID, and that's going to escalate to having a physical incision, that charagma, like it talks about in Revelation 13:16. Okay? Along with Trump going to meet with the head of China, bringing all the tech giants and bankers with him. And China leads the world in, digital surveillance on, using tech to regulate its citizens. Carl Schwab, the former head of the World Economic Forum, even said at the meeting at Davos a few years back that the whole world should look to China as an example on the next step on how society should function. Okay? But for the elect of the nation of Israel, who have cleaved unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the solution is right here in Revelation 3 and verse 10. All right? Revelation 3 and 10, it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Now, what does it mean to keep the word of the Lord's patience? Means you maintain obedience to the Lord in the face of adversity. You endured. Okay, the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. All right, let's reread that again from the top, Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, okay, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Meaning it's going to be a worldwide period of testing, forcing all those that dwell upon the earth to choose Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which most people don't even know what all that entails. They don't even know the names of the Lord and his son. Choosing between him or this beast system. So you can see as to why there's going to be a lot of people that perish because they chose to be on the opposing side of the master of the universe. When you look into that word hour, which is G5610, hora, okay? It's an appointed period or season, okay? Now, this hour of temptation, and the mark, can I'm gonna join that with the mark of the beast being presented to society, right? Understand, the mark of the beast comes before the climax of World War III. We're already in World War III, but it hasn't went nuclear yet, and it isn't all out madness and chaos and uh, uh, pandemonium. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, the mark of the beast is going to happen before the climax of World War III, and you know that because for this system to be internationally pushed, and countries still have to be able to trade with one another and do business, there has to be some form of, you know, uh, open and reasonable communication between the nations. The beast itself has to still, you know, be intact somewhat. Okay, for this to be issued out internationally, worldwide. All right, because we know there's going to come a point where the beast shall hate the whore. All right, and you can imagine how that could unfold, especially in our time. The way warfare is fought is a little bit different than how it was in ancient times. It's still going to be, you know, men fighting and things, you know, attacks, physical attacks and things like that. But like it talks about in Isaiah 9 and 5, this last war is going to be fought different. It's going to be fought with missiles. And there's nuances to war now. People, you know, they sanction each other. They try to, uh, you know, choke another nation out economically, choke the citizens out of a nation. So the citizens of a nation, you know, are willing to bend the knee, putting pressures on the people up top, at the top of their nation. And those have been little tactics that, you know, nations have always used. Makes me think about the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. When they seized Jerusalem, they cut us off from being able to trade or still get resources. They surrounded the city. Nothing could come in or out. All right. But when you look up that word temptation, let's go to G3986. For the Samos, it's a trial and a testing, and that testing is going to come again upon all of the inhabited world. When you look up the word for world here, it's going to be oikomene, G3625, meaning the whole inhabited earth. And just a little nugget for those who are new, there's three words for the word world in the Bible. You have oikomene, the whole inhabitant world, okay? Then you have cosmos, which is a specific arrangement of people or things, like you have the music world, the sports world, or the world of Israel, right? That's the word for world that's used in John 3:16 that Christians like to bring up. It's not oikomene there, it's cosmos. Okay, then you have aeon or eon, which is an age. All right. So when you read 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, it says for Esau is the end of the world. It's not talking the end of the actual physical earth, because like it talks about in Ecclesiastes, the earth about it forever. But it's talking about the end of an age. We're coming to the end of the age where other nations are ruling and dominating the earth. There's an everlasting age that's about to, you know, give birth, which is going to be the age where the kingdom of heaven is ruled by the family that has the covenant with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And they're going to be made immortal, and it's going to be a righteous rulership and government. Yeah, that beeping, that's my thermostat. I guess I got to get it fixed. It thinks that the truck is overheating, but it's not. Just got to get this thermostat fixed. But let's continue on. Let's go to Matthew, the 24th chapter, because the conditions that are going to be playing out during the hour of temptation is going to urge people to just want to conform. They're going to want some normalcy because things are going to be in complete disarray. All right. People are going to be, you know, hurting. It's not going to be how it is in America now, where people still could, you know, just easily have access to things. People are going to be looking for comfort. All right. And the comfort they're going to be looking for is going to be carnal. So they're going to turn to carnal solutions. While the elect understand that the root of our problem is spiritual. Okay. The things in the spirit are more powerful than the things that you can see and touch. The things that you see and touch, okay, started in the spiritual first. They're dictated by the things in the spiritual. So the elect are going to be, they're going to understand the root of the problem, and they're going to also understand the solution, okay, which is cleaving unto Yahweh Shah, having faith in Him. All right, so let's go to Matthew 24 and verse 6. It says, wars, famines, pestilences. All right, that's what it's going into. Those are going to be the beginning of sorrows. Let me pull it up here. All right, so this is Matthew 24 and 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars. Okay, we're hearing of the wars. Okay, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, and the end It's not yet. So we're at the rumblings of Jacob's trouble. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing the makings of that. It's only going to escalate from here. And there shall be famines of food and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, I've seen a documentary where I forgot if the guy was a CIA agent. I think he was, but he said it usually takes about 2 weeks um, for some of these second or third world countries to go without food, and people here and there within that society will start resulting to cannibalism. 2 weeks people don't have food and water. They'll start resulting to Now, keep in mind, I said that was in third world country. What will first world do, who are used to just eating all the time whenever they want? What will they result to when they go without food for an extended period of time? What behaviors they result to? What things will they justify in their heads to survive? When it comes to dealing with other people or their neighbors, what things will they justify to themselves? It's going to be all out chaos. Okay, and you want to be protected during that time. And the only way you're really going to be protected is not going to be by much strength or how much ammunition that you have or who you know or the resources you have or money you have. Your relationship with the Lord, your trust and faith in Him.